Good morning. I'm FinnGraves, and today I want to show you morning pages. So morning pages are this lovely concept that it took me about 4 years to actually do every day. So it's 3 pages of longhand every single day. And I have hundreds of these books, hundreds of them. And these are one of my most important possessions, even though I very rarely go back and read them. These are supposed to be more brain dump experiences. And so I try to make sure, I'll buy these at school time because they're 19 cents or max 48 cents. But you can spend up to $3 on these. I get college ruled because that matters for me. I need it to be small enough, that I can get thoughts down versus the big ones just, I don't know, as big loopy gestures, and I'm not so into those big loopy gestures unless I'm trying to make script, which is something I'm learning, but not exactly what I'm going for with writing. And so what I'm going to show you today is just a quick session of me writing and just allowing stuff to come out. And this is one of the things that I'll teach in my Thrive Art Therapy classes, which we will not be holding in person anytime soon because wow. And I'm kind of wondering if I can adapt my Thrive Art Therapy format to the internet. And so stage 1 is writing. And writing involves morning pages. There's further writing that we develop as we go through the process, but at the beginning, it's just about dumping your thoughts onto this concept, and this is just you just get it out and you let it go. And so yeah, and I get some really incredible ideas here. But it did take me, I started trying to do this when I was 20, and it probably took me till I was 24. So I'm 34 now, so it's a decade into it. But if you want to check out some more of the concepts around morning pages, then go ahead and look up Julie Cameron's work. And she's incredible. She's one of the creatives that, do you have imaginary creatives in your head that hang out and work with you? I totally do. And Julie Cameron is one of those creatives. She's just hey, just keep working. You're doing a great job. And I'm yeah, you're great. And she's tried a million different things. And I feel she helped shape me into the artist that I am as a person. And she just kept reminding me that it was okay to be imperfect. And that's one of those things, is imperfection really is important to the creative process. Because if I sit here and I try to think about 3 pages of perfect writing, this is what happens. Nothing. I line things out. Just okay. Nope. Nope. Okay. Yeah. And so getting things done instead of perfect is a really, really useful concept. Okay, without further ado, I would love to show you my writing. So what I do is I curl up on my couch or in my chair. I don't often actually write at my studio desk. If I'm writing like this, it's usual that I'm working on a novel or plotting something out or writing a letter. I like to write letters at my desk, but today for videoing, I wanted to show you just what I do. I do often flatten my book like that, and I notice that the screen is hella blown out and toss up a sketchbook, which is great. Always good. The sketchbook on the left I painted during one of my Facebook live streams, so that's kind of fun. And on the right, the little possum, I think I painted while I was doing a podcast with Sam. So yeah, so here I'm just brain dumping. What happens is I just let go. And whatever comes out from my brain to my hand, I just let it be exactly what it is. I don't worry about it. I don't think about, oh, is somebody going to read this or see this? I just loosen the flow and let everything come out. And morning pages are an excellent place for petty bullshit, for worries, concerns, for anything that you might feel like you don't have place for in your life. So, as a person, my last partner wanted to come home from work and complain. And I found that really aggravating. And if they came and asked me, hey, I would really I had a rough day at work, can you totally just listen to me? I'd be oh yeah, sure, because I was asked and it was emotionally consensual, in my opinion. But when they just came home and like dumped on me, it felt awful. And so for me, this experience right here, doing my morning pages, is the equivalent of like what I do if I have something that I really need to complain about and I don't have another person to talk to, or I don't have the space to allow that out. And so what I'm doing right here is just letting go of all of that. This is the negativity, this is the happy, this is the like dumb ideas. This is all of that stuff. Plus, this is actually practice for that 10,000 hours of being a writer. Like there's 10,000 hours, it's a 10,000 hour rule. And isn't it, what's his name? Malcolm Gladwell talks about it. And what he was actually talking about was that the practice is part of it. And I just actually watched his masterclass and it was phenomenal. But writing in your journal, if you want to be a writer, this is great. If you want to be an artist, writing in your journal is amazing because you get out all of the bad ideas before, like, well, not all of them. You get out, let's say, like 50% of the bad ideas. Imagine I'm telling myself that I want to make a vintage flashbook where I hand weather all of the sheets of paper and then I paint on them and all this stuff. And that's like kind of a book that needs to be perfect. That's an artifact type of book. And if I wanted to spend an entire year on making a beautiful vintage flashbook, that would be a valid way to spend a year. But right now, that's not something that's feasible. But if I write it down, I can use that concept in a story, right? And so being able to take that concept and use it in a story and to like imagine it is something that comes from morning pages. But also, it's just junk. It's stuff like, Finn, get the fuck up and do your laundry. Your bathroom floor looks gross because Bethany doesn't live with you anymore. You should really sweep it and maybe mop it. And like, where in the world is the Ajax? Have you seen the Ajax? Because do we even own Ajax? Stuff like that. Or I'll work out things with friends of mine. I'll be like, I'm really mad at this person because of this and this and this. And then I'll realize that I'm not actually mad. I'm disappointed that I didn't get to hang out with them. And so I'll just be able to, instead of get in like a text message fight with my friend, I'll be able to text them and be like, hey, do you want to go see a movie with me? Or right now, hey, do you want to FaceTime with me and we can totally hang out and draw together? And so I find that it allows me to emotionally regulate in a really beautiful way. And I enjoy that ability. I enjoy feeling like I can have control and I can choose to be compassionate instead of reactionary. And I know for myself that I can be a quite sensitive person. So this has really, really benefited me and helped me become more logical. And I'm decently logical, but I'm also highly emotional. So, plus it's just fun. Isn't it just fun to like watch words appear? I always wanted to have a bookshelf full of my own writing, and now I do. So if I'm having a lot more feelings, I like to do a gratitude practice. And I will just list off things that I'm grateful for because I feel like if I list off things I'm grateful for, then it changes my mindset. And when my mindset changes, there is so much more potential to be mindful and to live in the present moment. And a lot of us, we live in the past or we live in the future. And there's actually no power at all living in the past or in the future because the only thing that we have is actively right now. And right now, you can get up and you can decide to do something. Right now, you could change your life. And you change lives. People think of changing lives as huge transformations, like going from like 300 pounds to 150 pounds. But in reality, it's small transformations. It's writing a list of things you're grateful for. It's instead of picking up donuts, it's picking up spinach at the store. It's little details. And my gratitude list really helps me think about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching my morning pages, and I hope you go out and make one of your own. You deserve it. Okay, bye.